Today we are going to see it is an overlap of operation and the technical department. So we are mainly going to see today about the punctuality. It is an operational parameter, and how is it related to the technical parameters. Technical parameters like MTBF, failure rate, availability, etc., which are basically RAM parameters. How are these two connected? Yesterday I introduced, is there a connection? Because the operator will give, or the tenderer, the owner of the metro, will give this. This is all he understands. And the manufacturer of the equipment, the vendor of the equipment, the maintainer of the equipment, they understand this language. How do I translate these two? Is the question into another. This is the biggest issue I see today as far as RAMs is concerned. We all know about RAMs quite in detail, very well. You can do a lot of calculations, a lot of mathematics, but how do you ultimately relate these to punctuality is the question. Now, punctuality has got two aspects. Today, my main thrust is going to be on punctuality. Punctuality has two dimensions. It's got two dimensions. Has the two aspects. What is the one? One is how often the lateness occurs. How often the lateness occurs. The lateness of the train. How often? Daily, once, daily 100 times, daily 10 times. How often it occurs? So this is important. Because a daily one occurrence is not the same as daily 100 occurrence. People will be dissatisfied. Second aspect is the magnitude of the lateness. Magnitude of the late event. Human being tolerance, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, they don't mind. It's going to 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Definitely the commuter is concerned because he's going to miss his connection, he's going to miss his office, he cannot plan anything. When do I start? When do I from my house? What train do I wait? Which train I will get? I do not know. So all this confusion will be there. Nobody can plan. Especially people who have to connect to another train and interchange point. This magnitude of the delay is very important. So when we say punctuality, these both have to be taken into account. So believe me, I've been searching for the definition of punctuality. There is great lot of confusion. At least more than 10, 12 definitions of punctuality definition exist in the literature, which I have gone through in the internet. So which one to use, I have no idea. So I decided, okay, when there is a confusion, go to the standard. So which standard to use? Now I have said there is an organization called UIC. This is the International Union of Railways. International Union of Railways. This is a French word, but the English equivalent is International Union of Railways, in which Indian Railway is also a member. Most of the world railways are members of this union. It is situated in Paris. So I said, okay, anybody will believe if you quote, look, this is the definition given by the International Union of the Railways. So there's nothing to debate about it because they have considered many things and then finally came to this thing. So I'll come to the definition a little later. Before that, now I said the one parameter which ultimately we are trying to link is the reliability. Because once I link any one of the RAM, reliability or availability, then the other maintainability, you know the formulas, they can be linked MTBF, availability equal to MTBF divided by MTBF by MTTR. So all relations. So at least one parameter I must relate to punctuality. Now, the reliability of railway operation or a metro operation is often expressed through measurement of punctuality, which can be easily measured if I know the definition, which you will see shortly. And it means if only punctuality, if I know, I am not able to get the reliability. And you have to measure something else. That something else is regularity. So if I know these two things, then you say how reliable the metro operation is. Now this gentleman, if you have got his book, I think, Rudnicki. When somebody gave a compliment copy of this, no?
I'll check in the library, sir. I can't recollect.
No, when we used to be in Barcel,
okay.
Some gentleman came, not the author, and he presented the book to Barcel on metro.
Sir, that is Vucik. Vukan Vucik.
His book is quite a popular one. He says these two words how to define. Punctuality, according to him, is that a predetermined vehicle, it means train number, predetermined vehicle, that is train number XYZ, arrives or departs, because departs also is important as arrival. You go to the station, your train doesn't come, so you can't depart. So you have to wait. Your waiting time increases. So arrives or departs. Some places it may not stop or passes a predetermined point. That means a station. At a predetermined time. Predetermined time. There is a predetermined train number, a predetermined point, and a predetermined time. All of this, where you find it? Where do you find all these things?
Station.
We all use it very commonly.
The timetable. The timetable.
Exactly. In simple language, this damn thing is the timetable. You write everything. What is the train number, when it leaves or arrives at the station, and what time it leaves or arrives at the station. This is definition of punctuality. Now we said another parameter, regularity. He also said, what is that? A successive vehicle, one after the other. Successive vehicle of a public transport, because his book is on public transport. Successive vehicle means successive trains, because he talks about buses also. It's a public transport line. Depart or pass at a predetermined point with predetermined time intervals. Here you use the word intervals. That means if I go to a station, I expect a train to pass every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes one train should come. The first definition is the train should pass, the train number should pass a place at a particular time. It says, it doesn't mean the second train will not come and the third one will come at the correct time. The fourth one will not come, the fifth one will come at the correct time. So as far as third, fifth are concerned, they are punctual for that definition. But he also says, I expect after the third, the fourth to come, after the fourth, fifth to come, after the fifth, sixth to come. That means the frequency. With the word we have been using in the operation was frequency. There should be an adherence to frequency. So these two should be there. These two combined somehow will determine the reliability of the transport system. So our question is, our problem is how to combine these two. These are English is okay. So from this definition, now we can say now the key quality of the customer satisfaction. There are some 10-15 factors. The key factors of customer satisfaction as far as RAMs are concerned. Is one, extent of delay, which we saw. This is the main thing. The delay says punctuality. The delay also tells, I mean, if it delays too much, the second train doesn't come because it's cancelled. Because the next one is, if second is delayed beyond the frequency period, then the third won't come, then the fourth will come because the fourth time has come. So the extent of the delay is one of the major irritant factor to the customer, as far as we are concerned. By the earlier definition, the key performance indicator, the word key KPI is key performance indicators. This is what all the contract will say. Key performance indicators. Key performance indicators. This, what does this do? This measures reliability. Measures reliability in terms of let's go back to the earlier definition. The frequency, there is the regularity, and the delay. Delay duration. These are the things, frequency and delay duration. That is why the KPI is reflected in the form of a timetable where the frequency is also there, first train, second train, third train, and each train at each station what time it departs. It's ideal. So it contains both. So somehow our job now is how do I relate this key performance indicator, which is a reflection of the frequency and the duration of travel, to the reliability. So yesterday I left you a question, reliability, out of the RAM factors, whether this or this, which is more related to punctuality. You people think about it? Any idea? First answer, somebody says reliability. Then anybody else? There's only one more parameter is there. So if at all anybody say, they will say availability. These two are known, this automatically can be determined. Now, whoever has said reliability, why do you say this? Reliability is more related to punctuality. Now, if you take a train, travel, this is the time 0 starts at a terminal, time t arrives at a destination. So, one way of looking at this is the mission time, 0 to t. Failure-free operation in this interval during this interval is the definition of reliability in simple terms. Reliability, please remember, it is always for an interval. It is not for an instant of time, an interval of time. We said that is the mission time. That is the mission time. So if you consider the travel of the train from this point to this point without failing, to me it appears that reliability is more. At the first instant appears reliability seems to be an appropriate thing to punctuality. Because if I go from here to here in time, I achieved my punctuality and there is no delayedness. This is one way of looking at it. Now you go to the other way. I want to confuse you as much as possible today, so that you think you get confused and don't confuse. I take the same point.
Hello.
Benay,
Yeah, it got disconnected, sir.
the board is there.
It's there. Yeah, it's coming, sir.
It's coming.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first I said, you let us see stations. Let us see some stations are in the section. We said we said 0 to T. There should not be any interruption, and the same train should travel from point A to B. Now let me look at it this way. The train travels up to the station A. He stops there. People get in, then goes to station B, then station C. If I take this interval 0 to T, or let's say this is a 0 to, it takes 30 minutes. At the 5th minute, when it is at this station, I don't care whether the station signaling system should work or not. At this station, theoretically speaking, the track should be available at all or not. Some trackman can remove a key here because he knows he has got another 20 minutes and he can put it back. For a journey to take place 30 minutes from here to here, why should I waste my efforts keeping everything ready in advance and keeping them in the working condition till for that short duration the train travels at a small place? You divide this into small sections, let us say. And each section the train travels delta T. Afterwards, the importance of the section for the train doesn't exist. It is not like the motor car, where everything has to work if the car has to run. If the car has to run for 30 minutes, everything has to work. But in the case of a train, if the train has to run for say 12 hours or 30 minutes, everything need not work for all the 30 minutes. The engine has to work for 30 minutes for sure, because it is to travel all the place. But the signaling at the station need not work for the entire 30 minutes. When it comes to that station, when it passes to the station, it should work. Before coming, if it doesn't work, I don't care. After it passes, if it fails, I don't care. So it should be available only for each a small distance delta T, if I take, for that instant of time on which the train is traveling. If that equipment, track, power, everything, if it is available, the OHC, for that period at the instant of the time, if it is available. So I am now saying available at instant of time. After the train passes, I don't care about it, whether it is available or not, but it can fail. So entire 30 minutes, everything need not be in working condition. This is another viewpoint. That means as and when I need, as and when the train progresses 1 feet, the next feet track should be available. Once that crosses that 1 feet of track, it doesn't care about that feet of track is available and somebody has removed it, it's failed. As it passes the railway track, at that instant it should be available. It can really happen like that. It happens also in situations, because the train is at station A, 3rd stations from now, people will switch off everything and do maintenance work, because they know 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I can disconnect this relay, I can put it back. As per the reliability definition, it should be available for entire 30 minutes. But as per the availability, it is not required. When it comes to near the station, I should keep that everything works. So people argue the availability is more important if I have run the train punctually rather than the reliability. This is another way of looking at it. The availability is when I want, I need it. So the train wants only when it crosses the station, it wants the signal. It doesn't want the signal 30 minutes before. So availability definition is when I want, I must get it. The train, unlike the road car, where the entire car has to work. Here also the locomotive availability. The locomotive is completely 30 minutes it has to work. Otherwise it will stop. But there are associated things which need not be available for the continuous period. When the train wants a signal, it must get it. When the train wants the power, it must get it. For example, the train goes and stops at a station, let us say 20 seconds or 15 seconds. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it stops. At that time, I don't need the power. When I want to start, after 30 seconds, I need the power. So when I need the power, I must get it. And the operator, the power controller can switch it off for 30 seconds. Nothing will happen. Then when the train after 30 seconds, he can switch on the circuit breaker. Sometimes circuit breakers trip. If it so happens, it trips when the train is stopping, that failure is not noted at all. Then again he retries, the circuit breaker is on, the power supply has come, the train starts and goes, the driver is not even aware that in between a failure has taken place. Because he doesn't need that supply for that 30 seconds. So people argue also, when I want, it is available. So availability is more important for me to run my train from A to B punctually. Now you can debate, you can think in whichever way you want, with whatever knowledge you possess, and see whether it is okay or not.
So Akhila has a doubt.
Yes.
In one of the classes, you said when reliability is taken care, then availability is taken care automatically.
Please repeat, Benay.
Sir, if you once you mentioned that if reliability is taken care, then availability is taken care automatically.
No, if the reliability is one, availability is no issue. If it doesn't fail, I don't care about availability. Not one parameter. So if I made that thing, it's a mistake. I need two parameters. I can have many failures with a very small MTTR. You remember one diagram I do? I have a system which fails very often. These are all failures, up and down. This uptime, this is a downtime. Now for this duration, the system is, if my interval is only this, 0 to t, reliability is 1. But if the duration is this, reliability is 0. It is just that mission time is not successful. But if I look at the availability, if this is very small, you will find this availability is 0.999994. And compared to the total duration, if every second, there is a failure, the driver simply pulls a card and put it back, it works. The system is very reliable, very available, very much available to me, 99% of the time. But that doesn't take me for a duration this much. That is why reliability is concerned always with the mission time. What is my mission time? If mission time for the same equipment, if this is the mission time, the reliability is very high. Remember, e power minus lambda into t. For a given lambda, mean time between failures, if t is very small, reliability is very high. T is large. Remember this curve? T is very small, the reliability is very high. Sorry, two are related out of the three, not one. Okay? So, whichever way, so the best way I thought would be, since the confusion prevails even now amongst the people, that is, I have not got any paper or book which got over this confusion. So best I thought what would be, you derive a relation between punctuality as a function of either availability or a function of reliability and maintainability. If I can do this, this is a good job done. So I will try to see whether we can do this. Then I will convert this as a function of availability. Instead of deriving at the availability at the first, I find it difficult. Somebody can derive also, I don't know. This derivation is not available anywhere. This is what I am going to present in the journal, in the symposium which is going to come up. How do I write? The first question is, how do I, this is a vague English definition. So how do I define these two? Reliability and maintainability, which are RAM parameters. If I can say punctuality is equal to something into reliability plus something into sum plus something into maintainability into an equation form, if we can derive, I've done my job. Then there's no issue. People who manufacture the tenderers know this better. They know the reliability of their equipment, the MTTR, what their manual says. So they can calculate and say, yes, the tenderers punctuality I am able to meet through this equation. Right? So have you understood the problem? We saw in the RAM equations, all equations are only talking about how reliability is calculated, how do you do from the data, how it is related to maintainability, and then both of them combined, how do they give the availability. All these things we have seen, but this is a new thing. And there I said there are 10 definitions available. So for my derivation, I will take not the Rudnicki's definition or anything else. Everybody else more or less follow. Each nation has got its own definition of punctuality, because the way Western countries, punctuality is a very, it's not like Indian Railways. Punctuality is a very, very important parameter. They take great importance, they attach to punctuality. And each country defines, each railway defines punctuality in some form or the other. So the International Union definition is they studied all this, because everybody is a member. They studied all this, and so UIC came to a definition. So I will start from that definition, UIC punctuality. So UIC says is measured by setting the threshold up to which trains are considered punctual and building a percentage punctuality equal to number of measures less than or equal to the threshold. I hope you can read this. Threshold divided by number of all measures. It means there's nothing. It says that the threshold is, I set a limit, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. A train coming 3 minutes late, I don't consider it as late. If I set the threshold at 3, any train which is coming 1 minute late, 2 minutes late, 2.5 minutes late, up to 3 minutes late are considered to be running in right time. So the number of train measures means the number of trains which achieve the target within that threshold of 3 minutes. I put in the numerator and the number of total trains which are run in the numerator, which we have seen in the first assignment when we did the thing. It's not. And UIC recommendation of the threshold is 5 minutes. Some countries in Europe use 3 minutes, some use 2 minutes, and you won't believe Japan uses in seconds, 10 seconds or 20 seconds. They use in seconds as the threshold. The train is less by 10 seconds late, it is considered late. That's amazing, isn't it? So UIC recommends, okay, you have seen all these, all the members practice, we will consider 5 minutes as a threshold. If a train arrives within 5 minutes, 1 minute late, 2 minutes late, 3 minutes late, 4 minutes late, and up to 4 minutes 59 seconds late, it is the right time. I think Hyderabad Metro also is taken 5 minutes only as the threshold. You remember the exercise we did? In that, I think you have taken this. So this is the definition of the UIC punctuality. Now let us see. I tried to work out a derivation, but I don't know how far it is right. So you people can comment when I come there. So then I will, if there is a mistake in the concept, then I have to rework out, then think how to change it. So punctuality equal to I. You are disconnected, right?
Yes, sir.
Has it come now?
Yes, sir.
It's come?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me use the number. Punctuality equal to 1 minus number delayed divided by total number. Do you agree? There is no problem in this. Anybody? This is from the previous equation. The number of measures delayed by total number of measures. Okay. So I want to use the unpunctuality because it is easy to manipulate. Unpunctuality is 1 minus p, which is equal to number delayed divided by total number. If the number delayed be number of delayed trains, Bn, and total number of trains run is capital N. So U minus 1 minus P is actually small n by capital N. Now we have a large number of subsystems: track, signals, loco, rolling stock, power supply, etc., etc. We don't know. So general expression I am putting it as number delayed is N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus Nk for K subsystems. In a railway system, there are K subsystems, I assume. So signal, so there are K subsystems. So this is equal to, so the number of trains delayed will be equal to I equal to 1 to K Ni. For each subsystem, ith subsystem, how many trains are delayed? So I find the delay of this, total of this, I find the total number of delays. Okay, can I rub it now?
Yes, sir.
Our next job is to find Ni equal to what? Ith systems of this thing. To find the number of trains delayed by a particular subsystem, I must know the what? The number of Ni is the number of trains delayed due to a particular subsystem. This I want to know. So if I have to know this, I must know something else. What is that something else? Must know the number of failures of the subsystem. If the subsystem fails, only the train will be delayed. If the subsystem does not fail, so it breaks down to finding out the number of failures. So Ni equal to the number of failures of the subsystem I into some constant m. I'll tell you why I use this constant m. Where m is an integer number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 depends on how fast I remove the failure, I repair the failure. If I repair the failure in 2 days, there won't be train for 2 days. I have to cancel all the trains. So I get the credit of failing all the times to my department. If I take 10 seconds, okay, I may lose only 1 train. But still my margin is 5 minutes, so I am worried about anything more than 5. So if I do in 2 minutes repair, no problem. I delayed the train for 2 minutes, then nothing happens. So M becomes 1 only. If I do more than 2 minutes, 3 minutes, no issue. Suppose I do it in 10 minutes. So the number of failure is only 1. The number of failure is only 1. And the number of train loss will be how many? If I repair it in 10 minutes, repair time 10 minutes. As per the UIC definition, threshold is 5 minutes. My repair time is 10 minutes. So how many number of failure is only 1. This is only 1 failure. Repair time is 10 minutes. So how many trains I will lose? Threshold is 5 minutes. I lose 2 trains, isn't it? The first train, the second also will come by the 10th minute. The second also will come stand behind the first one. Because provided the what? The frequency is 5 minutes. or the frequency we call it operating headway. It's so coincided for demonstration. I took frequency also 5, threshold also 5. The frequency may be 15 minutes. Let's take the frequency of 15 minutes. The repair time is 10 minutes only. How many trains will be affected? Only one train will be affected. Because I took 5 minutes, which is more than a delay of 5 minutes permitted. I took 10 minutes, which is more than 5 minutes of delay. So as per the UAC formula, the number of trains delayed will be one train. Because the second train will come only after 15 minutes. So before that, I have repaired my system. So the M will be, if you look at it, how much time I take, the mean time to repair, divided by the operating headway. M is equal to the mean time to repair divided by the operating headway. So the number of trains detained for the ith subsystem will be the failures of the ith subsystem multiplied by the MTTR of the ith subsystem for that failure divided by the operating headway. Operating headway will be given to you in the system. We know the system. Sorry, OH. Here what I have written is OH, is operating headway. So having said this, so all I have to do, the total number is for the subsystem 1 to the subsystem K subsystems I have got, failure of the ith subsystem into M, which is the mean time to repair of the ith subsystem divided by the operating headway. So Ni I got. So once Ni I get, I need N, because I need N by N is the punctuality. So I need to know N. N is sigma of Ni. I equal to 1 to K. So I got Ni now. So this parameter I got is divided by N is the punctuality. So this I got. No issue. Now let us look at Fi. What is Fi? Fi equal to number of failures of ith subsystem. How do we get this number of failures? I am given the MTTF. Remember, my aim was to relate MTBF and MTTR into punctuality. So that means MTBF, as a vendor or a supplier, I know the MTBF of my equipment. ith subsystem MTBF I know. So number of failures will be, this is mean time between failures. That means average failure takes place every 10,000 hours, every 5,000 hours, every 3,000 hours, depending on your subsystem equipment capability design. So this is the mean time between failures. So, but I want the number of failures. What is the derivation for MTBF? MTBF equal to what? Total time divided by total failures. Is it not? This is the first equation we saw. What is the total operating time? What is the total number of failures? It will be mean time between failures. So now I am interested in the failures, the denominator, Fi. So failure is equal to total operating hours, total time, that is operating hours. In a day, how many hours I operate, divided by MTBF I of the ith subsystem. Not required anymore. Yes. So now Fi I have got for the ith subsystem. In a day, how many hours I operate? What is the MTBF of that subsystem? So I get that subsystem will produce so many failures. So N will be equal to sigma I equal to 1 to K subsystems. Total operating hours in a day may be 20 hours divided by MTBF I of that subsystem. And I'll keep on changing I 1, 2, 3, 4, and then find out those values and keep putting it into MTTRI divided by operating headway. MTTRI divided by operating head. So for the ith subsystem, so for each subsystem per fraction, everything I know the MTBF, I know the MTTR, I know the operating headway, the total operating hours the railway system will give me. So each subsystem I calculate, I add up 1, 2, 3, 4, all the subsystems, I get the total number of trains lost, punctuality of 5 minutes threshold. That criteria I will always use. If the operating headway is 15 minutes, no issue. The operating headway is 3 minutes, let us say. Then naturally, if I take 5 minutes, I will lose 2 trains to repair. So I have derived a punctuality, this divided by n, the total number of trains, that is a constant parameter which you can calculate from the timetable. So this divided by n is the punctuality, equal to punctuality. So punctuality I derived in terms of failure rate, inverse of failure rate, MTBF and the MTTR. Once this is known, the rest, if somebody says, no, I want it in availability, no issue. Availability equal to MTBF. We have a problem. Are you getting it?
No, sir.
No?
Just one dot.
Board is not.
Board is coming, but we can't see anything.
No?
No, sir.
I think I'm writing a lot of things not coming.
No, sir. Nothing's coming.
I have to invite you, that means.
Yes.
Yes, I'm finishing it now. My board is also gone. I've sent the invitation.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Ready, sir.
Okay. If somebody wants, I want in terms of availability, no issue. Availability is MTBF plus MTTR is inherent availability. I just invert it. 1 by A equal to MTBF plus MTTR divided by MTBF equal nothing but 1 plus MTTR divided by MTBF. I take out the 1 this side. 1 by A minus 1. The 1 goes to the left equal to MTTR divided by MTBF. So for the ith subsystem, availability will be the ith MTTR divided 1 by this equal to this. This is a true equation. There is nothing, no magic in it. I'm only putting the juggling with the figures. Now, if you remember the equation we derived for n equal to sigma I equal to 1 to k, total operating time divided by MTBF multiplied by MTTR divided by operating headway. So if you have got a parameter MTTR on the numerator, you got a parameter MTBFI in the denominator, which is nothing but 1 by AI minus 1. So finally this will come to n by n punctuality equal to sigma I equal to 1 to k total time divided by operating hours, and those two parameters I will replace by 1 by AI minus 1. Remember, A is always a less than 1, so 1 by A will be greater than 1, so this will always be a positive number. So this is the punctuality. So if you want in terms of availability, I've got the system, various systems availability and punctuality of the system I've related. If I know the MTBF and MTTR, I can do that way. If I know the availability, whichever way you want to handle this thing, you can do this way. And all the subsystems are there. Block diagrams you can put. If you want to do in reliability, you can multiply this. If you do in availability, you can multiply all the availability. Multiply all the availability. You get the availability of the total system. The total system thing. So all sorts of exercise you can do once you know that. So the key here is how to relate punctuality to the RAM parameter. So I have related. Please go through this. Write down all your doubts because I want the inputs. This you don't find in any textbook. You search, you won't get it. Or in a paper. I have searched, I could not get. So I tried to work out on my own. This is what I derived. So yesterday full day work for this. So if you people say this is reasonable, and if you please ask questions so that I can know there is a mistake here, there is a mistake here, this has to be clarified, this has to be clarified. I can improve on this and put it as a publication. So we will keep the target as June 1st for all your comments on this. Okay. So I will definitely, a good suggestion comes from any one of you, I will definitely acknowledge in the paper that this is from so-and-so of IMRT. Okay. So I would like to mention if X has contributed something to improve this, I will say X is. I'm thankful to X for his contribution in doing this. And of course, IMRT will be acknowledged because I have done it at the expense of IMRT. So please think about it. So let us all see whether this is a presentable approach, a good approach. Then I will do that. The balance writing and all this English writing, I will do it. No problem. This is the simple maths of this. Okay. Will I have you close the time?
Yes, yeah,
1 hour over?
1 hour.
Okay, now, you people, the next class will be only when I come back. So till then, please read all the things what has been taught so that we can have 2-3 classes of doubt chapter wise. Write down all your doubts chapter wise. Then we will ask, maybe we can have a mock interview individually, conduct some small questions related to RAMs. I gave 2 assignments. I think you have submitted already. Why is RAMs important? What is the relationship between R and A and M and S? How are they? All these things. I have asked you to write. You have done it. So based on that, now no new topic will be covered. I will only go through the old ones to clear the cobwebs, your doubts, so that your mind is clear for the interview, and you are at least you know the basics of RAMs. Okay. So
Okay,
I will see you on my return. Till then, during my period, either maintainability will be taken by Mr. Paul. If he is not able to take, when I tell them to go through chapter wise, you will do reading.
yeah. In any case, Irfan sir is taking the other portions. Is
If one
taking.
is taking, good. If
Yeah.
you're not taking,
Yeah.
please sit in the class,
Yeah.
start from basics, chapter wise, go through each chapter.
Yes, sir.
Analysis, testing, proofing,
Yeah.
data fitting, all anything, whatever I have taught so far, all the modules go through one by one.
Right.
Whatever doubt comes, please write it in a piece of paper. So that when we come, each doubt, I will stand there, we'll try to clear your ideas. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, then I'm signing off.
Okay,
Bye.
sir. Bye.